And now, reminding Governor Newsom, whoever Delta smelt it, Delta dealt it. Adam Carolla.
Yeah! Get it on. Got to get on. You know what I love? I love the best part of my childhood. There weren't a lot of good parts. It's the reply to when they go, you know, like I'm rubber and you're glue and it bounces off me. I like that clever reply. So someone would accuse you of farting. Do you know what when they go, you cut the cheese? Do you remember the reply? There had to be a comeback to being accused of something. You cut the cheese, then you would reply, I may have cut the cheese, but you licked the knife. Which I don't even know why that was smart, but well, wait a minute. And then the reply to whoever smelt it, dealt it, was he who denies it, supplies it? Was that a part of, like, we had a lot of fart-related terminology, had to win on some sort of fart technicality. Does anyone have the you lick the knife one, or is that some sort of L.A. Valley
LA
fucking
70s
thing?
Yeah,
that's a 70s Valley
very
thing?
Specific, yeah.
I remember a lot of good... And somehow you would win. Like you go, hey, man, did you just cut the cheese? Hey, I may have cut the cheese, but you licked the knife. It's like, all right, mic drop. I'm getting out of the station wagon with a mic drop. Like, I don't know what happened there, but somehow you won.
I may have licked the knife, but you wheeled out the Munster.
I don't know.
How deep can you get with this thing?
It keeps going.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I was talking in a subsequent show about going to the UFC.
Yeah.
So then I got tickets to the UFC, and then just through Dana something, celebrity stuff. So, and I never go to the UFC, but I got tickets to the UFC. And then Mike August said, I had an extra ticket, and Mike August said, why don't you invite Cosner?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, leave him alone, which is always usually my impulse, you know. I don't bother that guy. Leave him alone, you know. And even Costner and I are friendly, but, you know, I don't know if we're come with me on a mandate friendly, you know.
Yeah.
So Mike did the invite Costner, and then I did the leave him alone. It's always my first impulse. And then I sat with it for like 3 or 4 days, and I started a little introspection. Like, I'm like, why is your default mode leave him alone? Like, why is Kevin Costner going to be bothered if you ask him to go to a UFC fight? Maybe he won't go. Maybe he will go, but he's not going to, like, be angry about it, you know?
You got to practice being vulnerable, Adam.
Vulnerable.
You put your chin out there, you know?
So then, as we talked about, I said, you know, why not? Why not just, we're looking at a picture of me and Costner to fight. I said, yeah, why not ask Costner to fight? Fuck, the worst you could do is no reply, but let's just go, I'm out of town, or I'm working on Horizon 3 or whatever it is. So I just sent him a text. I go, I got tickets to UFC. I want to go to the UFC. And he gets back to me like in 10 minutes. And he just writes, as we talked about, he just writes, in Vegas, period. So then I go, of course he's in Vegas. He's not in town. He's working on something. He's not going to the UFC fight. So then I write back, oh, well, next time maybe you're out of town.
You already fell back.
I'm already falling back. I've already fell
man.
back. I was like, next time. I will do it next time. My bad. You know, and then he wrote, like, no, dumb shit, is the fight in Vegas. And I was like, well, it's not really on me because you didn't put a question mark. And also, I was just in Vegas, and somehow my brain is like, oh, I was just in Vegas. Oh, Costner's in Vegas. Oh, we could have hung out in Vegas. Oh, I didn't know he was in Vegas. So I'm already going down an elaborate, I built an elaborate facade of Vegas-related regrets. So then he goes, I'm not in Vegas. Where's the fight? And then I go, oh, it's in Inglewood at the Intuit Dome or whatever, where the Clippers play. And then he goes, oh, I got my son's volleyball game on Saturday, same night. You know when stuff sort of starts as he's paving the way to a polite decline, but then he goes, but after, what time's the fight start? So then I'm like, main card's probably 7, under prelims before that. And then he goes, oh, okay, well, my son's volleyball game is like kind of all dayish, but a little later in the afternoon at the convention center.
Yeah.
Son's a crackerjack, by the way, 15 and a half, 16, good hops, spiking that ball. What I'll tell you, let me say this, sports fans. We're a little bit snobby as sports guys. Like we want to watch football, we want to watch UFC, we want to watch hockey. But I will tell you, when we watch baseball, I will tell you at a lower level, like a non-professional sport version, watching 16-year-old dudes play volleyball is pretty good. Like they go at it. And that ball's flying around, and you're going, oh, that's a good play. It's a good setup. Like, they're talking. Yeah. It's a fun sport to watch. It's much better than baseball. Baseball's slower and shit and boring as shit. And I would rather probably watch a high school volleyball game than a Dodgers game in terms of just sheer sports entertainment. Not like, well, you get a hot dog and a beer and none of that, but just the sheer sports entertainment.
But baseball is America's sumo wrestling. It's a big pageant.
Right.
Everything, he goes, knocks the dirt off his cleat. It's part of the pastime.
Yeah, I don't like it. But also, volleyball is a sport where there is almost no drop-off between men's and women's.
What do you mean?
Men's basketball is awesome, and women's basketball is like, there's a drop-off.
Yeah.
No slam dunks, no, even the way they shoot their threes are sort of a chest pass, It's not men's basketball. There's a chasm between men's basketball and women's basketball, and it's fairly large. Men's volleyball and women's volleyball, there's not that big a chasm. The women kick ass. They're not getting as vertical, they're not spiking it as hard, but they're spiking it. They're getting vertical. They're setting up. They're digging it out. They're saving it. They're all talking. I like it because they're talking the whole time to each other about communicating about spikes and setups and whatever. They're doing the fake, spike with the setup, and the other one's like coming there. Like when I would watch my 14-year-old daughter play 14-year-old volleyball, I was like, these chicks are playing good. Like, it wasn't okay, now here we go. You know what I'm saying?
The strategy and the action still holds up. I get it.
There's not a big space between male volleyball at the high school, college, or Olympic level, or beach volleyball. Probably rather watch the ladies from Brazil, I don't know. I'm looking at you, Joe. You're a sports nut. I don't think there's a big drop off in volleyball. Like, okay, if you said to me, "Hey, I got tickets at an NBA game," I'd go, "Wait, NBA? Yeah, I'm in." And if you said, "No, WNBA," I'd go, "Oh, yeah." I mean,
I win.
I think we're good.
I win. LA Sparks is a fun game.
Look, I'm not a hater. I'm just going, I thought you said NBA. WNBA. Sorry. If you said, Kevin Costner's son versus Kevin Costner's daughter playing volleyball, I'd go, yeah, I'm in. Look, there's not much of a drop off.
It was like
volleyball does right what women's basketball does wrong, and they lower the net.
Do they lower it?
That's I was wondering why not, but then Brittany Griner would just be jamming on everybody the whole time.
They lower the net at the college level, Olympic level?
I believe it's lower all around.
Volleyball?
Yeah. WNBA
Olympics?
could save itself. Lower the net, raise the shorts.
Buddy, you're a
I just fixed the whole league.
You just fixed the league.
Commissioner.
So let's go Olympic. What is Olympic height male net? And what's Olympic high female net? Yeah, because what you want is the people getting over the net and spiking the ball. Listen, anybody who's played hoop, I don't know if this is a part of your childhood or not. But one of the funnest...
North Carolina, street ball. Yeah.
Street ball.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. One of the coolest things is the junior high. Check that. And Joe, I think I'm gonna speak to your point here, and I'd be curious if you guys have experienced this. But there is a grade school across the street from where I grew up, Colfax Elementary. The basketball court at the Colfax Elementary, the hoop was 8 foot, maybe 8.5. It's a full 1.5 feet or 2 feet shorter than a 10-foot regulation hoop. And the court's a little smaller. And the next thing you know, you're 13, 14. Now, we're not at Colfax. We're in junior high, even high school. But all of a sudden, you're Dr. J. It's like finger rolls, reverse dunks, alley-oop dunks. Like, we're having a fun time because that fucking thing is down 2 foot.
The and one championship.
Yeah, we're all kind of like could touch the rim on a high school, but not dunk a volleyball
you had
or
that
something.
One you could lower down.
Right.
And then it was just game on until someone broke the backboard.
Yeah, and you're just driving to the hoop and dunking, and guys are setting you up and you're alley-ooping and stuff like that. Like, it was a funner, more exciting game.
On my high school basketball team, when we had like a day off, it was just like, it's just a chill day. We all, like, the coach would take us to the elementary school and we'd play on the low hoop. That was practice.
Really?
That was practice on a day where we were getting a reward.
Really?
Nice.
All right, Olympic men's volleyball net is 7'11" and 5/8", which can we just go 8? At that point, you're 3/8 off of 8. Like, just call it 8 foot tall. While the woman's is 7'4" and an 1/8, which is confusing. But that 7 inches or so plus, that's a difference. That makes a difference. And yeah, you're right. The NBA could have a lot of dunks and alley-oops and reverse slams and finger rolls and shit like that if they would drop it just go from 10 to 9.
W. Yeah.
Sorry, W.
Yeah.
NBA. All right. So
you went to the fights, right? We're not going to talk about volleyball the whole time, are we? Because I've not got nothing for you, bud.
So I said, so Costner's like, well, my son's playing a volleyball game. I said, all right, well, how do you want to do this? And he goes, well, just pick me up at my hotel at 3, and then we'll go down to the convention center, and we'll watch volleyball, and then we'll get back in the car, and we'll go down the road to the Fix-It Center, the Intuit Center.
Intuit Dome, right?
Yeah, the Intuit Dome. And then we'll watch the game. So then I go, okay, I'll just pick you up at 3. So he's staying at some cool hotel on the west side, so I got a driver. So just go pick him up at 3. And then go out to the convention center, 45 minutes away or whatever, figure out how to get in, whatever. Go watch some pretty good volleyball. I sit down courtside. You sit in the courtside. Now it's a
like Jack Nicholson seats.
Yeah. That's all there is, basically. And there's 80 games going on at once.
80?
Oh, yeah. Their balls flying all over the place. And I sit down, and I'm sitting there for about 3 minutes, immediately get bonked in the head hard with a volleyball. Because these guys are spiking, like, on the other courts.
So you're watching.
They're angry at those balls, man. It's just like hard, like crazy. And one hits and skips, and it just... Oh, yeah.
To blast your glasses off? Was that one of those?
It was a little high on the head. It didn't get to the glasses. Now, I normally have insane peripheral vision and lightning reflexes, but Costner was like, what time is it? What seat assignment or what time? He said something. Yeah. Oh, he wanted to know if there was something on our ticket that was printed out, and I was like, I don't know, let me look. And he didn't have his glass on. As soon as I looked down, whack. And Costner made a move. Like he saw it. he tried to save me. Couldn't save me.
He tried to hit you.
Very apologetic.
Mohicans block.
Yeah, he tried to
Wax on.
He tried to wax on that volleyball. Whack me in the head. Now, I couldn't say shit. I didn't go like, oh, someone give me some ice, or who did this, or what's the meaning of this. I had to pretend like it never happened. I was just, yeah, no, cool. Yeah, no, cool. Because what am I going to do? Fucking start crying? Start crying in volleyball.
You got a concussion, though?
I got my bell rung. I got my bell rung. Like, I got a hard spike volleyball right flush temple.
Damn.
Pow. Yeah, but I couldn't complain. I'd
You
pretend
think it would
like
be
was nothing.
worse or better if it was a woman's volleyball hitting you?
Better. Little bit off of that.
You
Little
thought
bit
it was
off.
a masculine energy in that.
Yeah, I could feel the bro sweat on that ball. So I got bonked. Then we watched 3 games. They're good. They're close games. Sun won the first 2. Sun, good player. Very good player. Good hops.
Tall guy.
Not the tallest
Not
on his
yet.
team, but those guys are pretty tall. But he's probably about 6 foot. But he got some hops and spiking the ball and playing a good game. Cosner was talking to him and that kind of stuff. And then Cosner did a move I really liked. At some point, they lost the 3rd game. The last game we saw, they lost. It was a close game, good game. They lost, and Costner's like, all right, let's go. And I go, oh, okay. And we just get up. He just turned around and we left. No, hey, Sean, I'm really proud of you, or I got you a stuffed animal, or you need any popcorn. It was just, we just got up and left.
Well, at some
He
point,
did not
probably-
say bye to his son.
Did he look? He gave him a
No,
look.
not
No
a look. We just got up and left. I said, is your son staying with you when you're out here, at a nice hotel? A real nice hotel. Yeah, no, he wants to stay with his team, hang out, more fun. I'm like, oh, okay, good. Normal
Yeah.
dude. So, didn't say bye. Appreciate that. Just left, went down, got in the car, went up the street to the Intuit Dome, did the below ground parking, the SUV Cadillacs with the whatever sign, could go
Cool guy
down.
entrance. Cool guy entrance.
Cool guy entrance. Never do it. Drove underground. You drive underground, see a bunch of tall brothers getting out of the cars in front of you. You go, NBA guys, I think. I don't know. A lot
Clippers
of,
got tickets.
a lot of tall brothers hanging around. Occasionally recognize someone. They get you out of the car. You walk to the front. You check in. You get the wristband. And then they walk you through the tunnel, through the back ways. At some point, Costner says, I got to go to the bathroom. I go, okay. And he goes, I'm not doing any interviews. And I go, yeah, okay. I don't know, but some guy could stop you with a camera or something. But it's not on me. I didn't set anything up, but I don't know. Oh, what was the best part?
Yeah.
When we went into the convention center and we're walking up the stairs to go watch the volleyball game, I got a, hey, Ace-Man, what are you doing? And I was like, hey, Costner, I just got recognized right in front of your ass, right in front of you first.
Oh, man.
Number 1. And then I realized the UFC crowd, that's my crowd.
Yeah.
As I was like walking, hey, Ace-Man, because you enter the arena and everyone's like, and I don't think they really even figured Costner out for a second.
They're like,
So
I
it was a lot-
recognize that guy.
A lot of like, hey, Ace-Man stuff. So that was good. And then we walked past our seats on the floor. And then as I was walking past the seats, no one was in them, but I saw Mel Gibson next to mine, Nate Bargatze, who I love. I saw some recognizable names, those are all our seats, And so, so we go walking through because Costner's got to take a leak, I don't blame him. So we say our liaison, like, hey, where's the bathroom? They go, oh, we just go in the back and go to the hospitality area where the food and the drink is and everything. There's a bathroom back there. Okay, so we go walking in, and as we walk in, Costner just peels off into the men's room, and I go walking into the event, and the first guy spot is Bill Simmons. And Bill Simmons and I love going to the movies, watching movies, talking about movies, and he's a huge Costner fan. right? So I come walking in and I just stand next to him. He goes, hey, Ace, what are you doing here? I go, just hanging out. He goes, oh, who are you here with? I go, oh, it's a good one. He goes, who'd you bring? I go, we're going to find out in a few minutes. When he comes out of that bathroom, Bill, he goes, ooh, Dr. Drew? I go, no, up, bring it up. He goes, Kimmel? Did you bring Kimmel? I think he said Kimmel. I can't remember. I go, no, bring it up. He goes, Trump? I go, okay, bring it down, Bill. It's fucking 30 hours before the inauguration. Yeah, Trump's, he's out on the West Coast, he's hanging out with me. I go, no, it's not Trump. It's above. Then all of a sudden, Cosner just comes out of the bathroom and walks around, and Bill's like, oh, shit. It was awesome. So I talked to Bill for a little while, ate a little something. Costner likes the dessert. Ate the berries off his cheesecake. He's like,
what?
He's picking the berries off his little cheesecake. Blueberry on top of the little cheesecake thing. I go, you don't eat the blueberry? He goes, nah, not sweet enough. I go, okay, well, I'll take it. I said, I'll eat. I'm not fucking throwing away food. I don't care who this is. So then it's time to watch the fights. We go in. We watch the last prelim before the main card starts. Sit down. Here comes Mel Gibson. And I'm like, oh. And Mel Gibson is traveling with what? And Mayhem, you'll know this because Jay Moore always seems to have this. But what I would assume, what I would lovingly refer to as jack off sober guy buddy.
Yeah.
Like when you see certain sober guys travel around, there's some dude with weird facial hair that's just sitting and not talking, and you're like,
sober support?
yeah, like who is this dude? And I think it's sober guy
Just to
support.
tackle me off the beers? Is that what the guy's there for?
I don't know, but like I did a show with Jay in San Diego, and he had sober guy with him. I've seen sober guys. Sober guy A is sober. So what I'm saying is it's a UFC fight and the drinks are free. So if you're just sitting there drinking a fucking water, you're sober guy because there's a full bar back there and it's all gratis. And we're watching the fucking UFC on a Saturday night. So there's no beer in your
Mel
hands.
Gibson's buddy is like there to defend him?
Joe, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm asking.
I'm saying I think I'm looking at Mel Gibson. He's drinking a water, and the guy next to him, who I'm not saying he's not friends with Mel Gibson. I'm saying he's not an actor. He's not a producer. He knows a lot about UFC. I'm talking to him. He's a regular dude.
Emotional support, sober guy.
Yeah, it's not a Hollywood dude. He's not a director. He's a dude. You know what I mean? And he's a dude who's not drinking a beer at the UFC at 8:00 at night. Yeah. So, and the beer's free. So he's sober guy. So, so Mel Gibson comes in with sober guy.
Yeah.
I'm assuming a sober guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't be friends with the guy. Eventually, you hang out, you become friends.
Yeah.
But Jay Moore's guy wasn't the life of the party. We spent backstage with him for 3 hours. It would be unlikely that Jay Moore would be hanging out with that guy if that guy wasn't sober guy. Am I speaking out of turn here, Joe?
No, I feel like this is a common thing. I feel like a lot of people who are sober and newly sober, they want to go out, but they don't want to bring their buddy who's going to house 60 free beers at the UFC fight with them. They bring the guy who's going to be like, yeah, I'll have a water with you and hang out. And the sponsor guy.
Yeah, because you're asking for trouble. Because if Mel Gibson goes out with me and the bar's free and it's UFC, then I'm having a couple of I'm just going to sit next to him having a fucking cocktail,
Yeah, act like you got some couth, Mel Gibson.
I was fine with it, but the thing that was funny is I'm sitting there and Mel Gibson's, the dude's name is Mel, by the way, sober guy. I think it's sober. His name's Mel. So there's just 2 seats that say Mel. Or like one says Mel Gibson. My 2 seats just say Adam Carolla on it. Maybe his 2 seats say Mel Gibson. But the guy's name was Mel. But anyway, Mel Gibson comes by and his house just burned down in the fire. He's all over the place complaining about shit. I'm like, oh, man, we are so on. And the guy, Mel Gibson, seats like next to mine. And Mel's like, all right, here we go. And then sober guy like is standing there and he goes, oh, yeah, all right. Well, you sit down, Mel, and I'll sit. And I'll be like, oh, he put a coaster. He put sober guy coaster between me and Mel Gibson with sober guy just sat next to me. And I'm like, oh, I want to talk fucking Mel Gibson. We talk about everything.
So how's sober guy? He's nice.
You
guys rub elbows?
He knew a fair amount. He knew a lot about the UFC.
Yeah.
So we're able to, this guy's favorite and this guy's a striker.
All right.
That guy's a grappler. And, we talked. It was fine. But I talked over him, too, to Mel. Hell yeah. Mel has, what I realize is something I want to think about. I want to discuss with you. Big arm energy.
Yeah.
Dudes with big arms, like naturally big arms, just fucking have a certain swagger. They walk in, they start calling shots. My arms are skinny, so I don't have big arm energy. It's big dick energy, but your dick's not out all the time.
Yeah.
Arms are out all the time. The shit starts in high school. It's like a chick with big tits, that kind of have that. I'll just walk to the front of the line and you'll listen to what I have to say because you're staring at my bazoombas all the time.
Yes.
I think there's a big arm energy that's equivalent to big tit energy on a chick. The big arm kicks in somewhere around the 10th grade, maybe 10th, 11th grade. And all of a sudden, the other dudes... And you'll know it. The guy's always wearing the Izod, the Lacoste. He's always wearing the short sleeve. It's a little tight. When he talks, he does a little flex, put the forearm up. He's got the naughty forearm, doing that thing all the time. It's the big arm, it's a little better than the big calf energy. Big calf's another good. Guy's always in fucking shorts. The guys that are like, see the guys wearing like shorts and loafers, and you're like, this is a formal. Why are you wearing? And then you look at his calves and you go, oh, okay. All right. Yeah, if I had this fucking calf.
Showcasing them.
Well, they put them out like chicks with big tits have cleavage. They go like, all right, you want to check it out?
You're getting me to tap into my strategy. He's going to wear some tight pants from now on.
Mel Gibson's got big arm energy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's all right. They can be a little short. They just put cowboy boots on, and now the arms are always out. And they're always wearing a short sleeve.
Yep, Mad Max. Yep.
Mel Gibson. It's the dead of winter. It's not snowing, but it's 51 degrees out. Fucking short sleeve. Short sleeve, just going out. Everyone else is kind of wearing a dress shirt and like, you've done enough of these fights. They're kind of hip, Hollywood, bomber jacket, whatever, baseball jacket, something that's a little cool.
He's wearing a sweater vest?
He's just literally wearing a short sleeve shirt, because he's got big arm energy.
Yeah, okay.
And it works, because people kind of go, okay, leave him alone or get out of his way, or he's doing what he's going to do. He's got big arm energy, big tit energy. Look, the pecking order is big tit energy is number one.
Top.
That's the top. But not that far below big arm energy, and then below that's big calf energy, which it's good.
Where are we putting bulge energy?
Bulge?
I mean, obviously.
Big dick energy?
Yes. I mean, but like it's not even that.
Well, big...
Showcasing.
Big dick energy is more of a vibe that's internal, which is to say... You could see someone could be very experienced in martial arts, but you wouldn't necessarily know it by looking at them. But they carry themselves in a way where they kind of, you get
a vibe.
Guy looks like he could handle himself.
He's a cocksmith.
Right. So it's there, but the dick isn't out.
Yeah. I mean,
that's where the energy comes in. It's big dick energy.
Right.
It's not big arm or big tit energy. It's just big tits.
It's big tit with big arm.
Big arm. Asked me to wear gray sweatpants.
Who does?
Just women in general.
Yeah, they love the gray sweatpants.
They want to see some big dick energy?
They just want to get the print. They just want to get the mental image of, It's a strange thing. The women are turning it on us. I'm telling you.
Really?
It's a thing. It's a TikTok trend.
I think the big arm energy, which is just big arm, and you're right, big tit, it kicks in about the same point, about 15. It's guys like it, they use it, and they accentuate it, and they do the same thing women do with their tits, they do with their arms, and it just carries. It just carries on to a slightly more confident individual.
We're all getting in the gym tomorrow.
I don't want. I got skinny. My arms are skinny. It just doesn't work.
You can put some effort. Like, come on.
Yeah, done with
Jimuary.
effort.
We're getting jacked in Jimuary.
No, I can't. I got nothing to go off of. Now, I was always super strong, and I could punch hard and grapple, and I could do everything. I just didn't have big. I remember. I never thought about this. Oh my God. I was sitting in a makeup chair. You want to talk about big arm energy? And by the way, the big tit finds the big arms. At some point, they come together. I want to get those big fucking guns on my titties. Squeeze my titties.
The natural order.
I was sitting in, and I have skinny arms, but I could hit a baseball 350 feet. Like I could
Functional strength.
hit
I know.
real hard.
Listen,
and
I
stuff
work
like
with
that.
athletes all the time. Wiry guy, strong, sinewy dude.
That's who I was. You couldn't take me off my feet. I'd throw you around, and I could hit hard. And everything, I just was skinny. I have skinny arms. Actually, the reason I did that is when you have skinny arms, you get better technique, and you stop relying on just sort of brute strength, and you really work on torque and technique and torsion, and you become... Watch Darryl Strawberry hit a home run. That's who you become. 6'4", 189 pounds, and just cranking the ball. But you see every part. When you see, perfect example, big arm energy. The guy who hit the most famous Dodger home run, Kirk Gibson. Kirk Gibson's got big arm energy. He's got those big fucking forearms, right? You watch him hit that home run against the A's, he's like, he barely moves his hips. He just like sort of, and it goes out of the fucking park. He's got like big forearm energy. You see Darryl Strawberry hit a home run. It's like somebody wound somebody up and uncorked them. It's just every part of his body is twisting, torsion, full torsion. Thomas the Hitman Hearns, 6'2", 147 pounds. Watch him throw that right. Every fucking part of his body is churning on that because he's 6'2" and he's under 150 pounds. Technique. So it's all technique.
Yeah.
Anyway, so big arm. Mel's got the big arm energy.
All right.
Okay. What was I going to say? Big tit energy, big arm energy. So I'm sitting there. Then Nate Bargatze sits down. And Nate's nice. Good dude.
Got a great special, like kind of wholesome in a weird way. I like this guy.
I'm like, I got Cosner sitting next to me. I'm talking to Bargatze like through the two Mels, you know. We're talking, and I can tell Costner's like, who's that dude? And I go, that dude made $82 million last year doing stand-up. That's the highest grossing stand-up of 2024. That dude you do not recognize, who you want to know why is he in the celebrity zone with us? That guy's the highest grossing stand-up comedian of 2024.
He's oblivious.
So I talked to Nate, who's always nice, and then he goes, see, you got to check now, Joe. I wanted to check. When's Bargatze coming to town? So he goes, we're sitting in the Clippers arena, and he goes, hey, I saw you did something for Dry Bar. And I said, yeah. And he goes, oh, you're doing a clean set now. I go, yeah, well, not most of the time, but I could clean it up for Dry Bar. And he goes, oh, yeah. Well, when I come back to town, why don't you open up? Why don't you play? And I go, yeah, where are we at? It's like, probably here. Something like this. I'm like, there's 19,000 people here. Were you kidding me? It's like, I mean, I know you don't make $82 million by playing the Laugh Factory in Covina. Yeah. You got to play arenas, but he's playing arenas, but he's keeping it clean. It's going to be the Irvine Improv at the end of February?
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Shit. Wait a minute.
That's a home match right there.
He's got to be playing some other arena or something. I mean, he is traveling around playing arenas, right?
Encore Las Vegas, all that. But Irvine Improv, I mean,
He's working stuff out.
Also, you guys, those levity corporate overlords, just you never know when you're going to come back down. You want to stay in the good graces of the 600-seaters too.
What went in Feb? I'll reach out.
Last few days of February, first day of March.
Oh, well, maybe I'll go down there and open over there, but I was kind of hoping for a dome or something. I want to do a dome.
You want to do the walkout?
He's going to be in
like
Europe
UFC.
after that if you want to hit,
Yeah, but
I'll go to Strudeldorf. Is he playing like a soccer
the
venue there?
Oslo, Norway arena in the Royal Theater in Amsterdam.
All right, I'll head out for that. That's a little disappointing for me. Fuck, I've sold out the Irvine Improv. I didn't need him for that shit. Oh, well. Well, I'll still go down there and hang out. So now it's getting crazy because I've got so much to talk about. Okay. Now it's crazy because Erica Rhodes, lovely, fetching. Erica Rhodes is here now, as the calendar goes, because sometimes we tape the show a day before and sometimes a couple days before, whatever it is. Erica Rhodes comes on this show and she starts talking about Pete Berg.
I saw.
You saw. Right?
I saw.
You saw. You were there. You came in late, but you saw. Okay. Pete Berg is a director, actor, was in a boxing movie.
No. Was he?
The Great White Hype.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Totally remember, yeah.
You know what the biggest tell for the guy's not a real boxer tell? It's the actor's playing the boxer?
Poor jab.
Yeah, it's good. What else?
Like awkward footwork. They stand very stiff.
It's good.
Usually.
Good. It's all good.
The right hand?
No. The boxing scenes are always just action scenes, Bob Thorne. How the guy's not a real boxer is the shadow box before the fight.
Yeah.
They always are standing in the corner and they go, it's like, do that. You go like, oh, that guy doesn't box. And also they try a little too hard during the shadow box warm-up stuff.
Yeah.
Real boxers are always kind of rolling their shoulders and flicking stuff out a little bit. They don't go, ah!
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
And they never show them skipping rope because they can't fake it.
Yeah, you're right.
Can't do the fake rope skip.
Yeah. There's a lot.
You can't fake the
every
rope
time it breaks me out a little bit when I see a boxing scene in the movie, but Hegseth was at the fights, though. That's what I was meant. I saw him.
Who?
Yeah, they did the freaking the celebrity cam. You're on there with Cosner, and then they show up with the Hegseth. And they
Pete Hegseth?
Chiron. That's his name, right?
Pete Berg.
Berg, that's it.
Well, there's a couple of Pete's.
Hegseth, what the hell? Oh, that's the guy in the news.
Yeah, that's the other guy. Berg was on there.
My bad.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So, Pete Berg, I've actually sparred with Pete Berg. And he's a kind of combat guy, and he's a dude. He's like Hollywood dude, the dudes.
Yeah.
And he's I would call him a friend, but I hadn't talked to him in a long time. And I was telling Erica Rhodes, who watched Friday Night Lights binge watched it, and he directed that. He's done a bunch of movies. He's done a ton of movies. You got to look him up. I don't know his IMDb. Anyway, he's a good dude. He's a dude. Which sometimes is a little much, but he's a good dude. And he's an actor. He's director, writer.
Yeah, this guy knows the business inside and out. Looks
my God, yeah.
Yeah, he's been in everything, done everything. Oh,
there's
Shocker?
the great white hype. Oh, Shocker, yeah.
That was a great one, yeah. Mm-hmm. So ridiculous.
So anyway, he's done everything. And so Erica Rhodes is going off for 20 minutes about wanting to slide into his DMs and whatever.
Yeah.
Then I'm saying to Erica Rhodes, I know Pete Berg a bit, but I have not seen Pete Berg in probably 10 to 15 years. And I don't know if I still have his number or anything, but I like Pete. I kind of think we're friends, but I haven't talked to Pete Berg in a million years. And I don't even know where Pete Berg is. And then that's Thursday afternoon with Erica Rhodes. Saturday night, sitting there with Cosner, and here comes Pete Berg.
Yeah.
And Pete Berg's like, hey, it's Cosner. Then he's like, hey, it's Mel Gibson. And I'm like, hey, it's Adam. And he's like, huh? I'm like, Pete. He's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, no, listen to me. Listen to me. And he's like, huh? And he knows me and everything. He knows. I was like, hey, Adam. I'm like, no, listen. Listen to me. There's this comedian girl, not off to a good start. I get it. She's blonde. She's good looking. She's good. She's funny. Name's Erica Rhodes. You know Erica Rhodes? He goes, nope. I go, oh man, she's into you. You know, I goes, okay. I go, no, but she's good looking. She's nice, you know. She's funny. She's good looking. And he goes, yeah, okay, all right. Let me talk to Mel over here. And I'm like, yeah, let me talk to Cosner. I'm like, yeah, okay. But hold on. You gotta understand. She's cute. I was just talking to her about you. She likes you. And she's like, oh, okay. And I go, yeah, you don't know who she is? He goes, nah, I don't know. So he's like, and then at some point, I go, she's hot. And he goes, what's her name again? And I go, Erica Rhodes. And he goes, what? Erica Rhodes. And he goes, oh, okay. And he walks away. And then 5 minutes later, he comes back. He goes, okay, I Googled her. What's up? I'm like, all right, he found some good pictures of Erica Rhodes
exactly.
I said, all right, well, I'll tell you what's up. She wants to date, man. So I said, I don't know if I have your new phone number, your old phone. Just make sure I got your phone number, and I'll figure it out. And then I called Erica the next day.
Matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch.
I don't know anymore.
Me neither.
So that was that. Kismetty, right? Like a lot of talk about random Pete Berg talk with Erica Rhodes, and then 48 hours later, I'm just standing there with Pete Berg. I told him I haven't seen the guy in a long time. All right, we got news. I got a permit jag to go on, and we'll do all that right after this. All right, New Year's resolution. Vow to eat healthier, but what about your beloved pets and their nutrition? Yeah, you're doing better, but they're getting a bunch of dried up old kibble. Dr. Dennis Black created Rough Greens and Meow Greens to bring their dead food back to life with live vitamins and minerals, probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, antioxidants, and more. See, pet food is dead food, and you eat dead food, soon enough, you're going to join it. You need to bring it to life. All, by the way, in a tasty formula your dog or cat will love. It'll improve their coat, digestion, energy, and mean less vet bills. I've been doing this with Phil, holding the sack right now. VitaSmart. You don't have to buy food and keep it in the refrigerator. You just sprinkle this on top of the food you're currently serving your dog or your cat. Get a Jumpstart trial bag. It's normally $20. It's free with the promo code Adam. You just cover shipping. It's a free Jumpstart trial bag. That's it. You just go to ruffgreens.com. Use the code Adam. Try it out for free. Your dog's going to love it, and you'll notice the difference quickly in your dog's vigor and health. Rough Greens, so good, your pet will ask for it by name.
Here's a memorable moment from the Adam Carolla Show's Ace Awards archives.
Matthew, Omaha, 7?
Why does Buzz Lightyear say to infinity and beyond when it's not even possible?
Well, speaking as Captain Nebula, I was his captain. I was his CEO, his commanding officer, Matthew, for 100 episodes of some thing on Disney a million years ago. He just found that scribbled on the inside of a stall in the bathroom that we use at headquarters and took off with
his origin
it.
story?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you see the latest movie, Matthew?
No.
All right. Matthew, move out to L.A. in 11 years. No, wait. Move out to either Florida or Texas in 11 years, and I'll give you a job. I'm not sure if L.A. will be here in 11 years.
The 2025 ACE Awards, coming this December. Now back to the Adam Carolla Show.
It's weird. I had a dream about Patrick Warburton last night. Big arm energy. That's why the guy's confident. I had a dream about Patrick Warburton, and Commander Nebula was his commander, and he was Buzz Lightyear in the Disney TV version of.
So that's canon? That's canon?
Canon?
Yeah, like the original. That's where it really got it from the bathroom stall.
Oh, what's canon mean?
Canon means like that's like official history in the fiction of Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, and the
Like-
canon of it. No, I made that up. I don't know where that came from.
No, I know.
You know. All right. We got news, but there's also I got a jag to go on.
All right. We're here for that.
Somebody tweeted me a couple days ago, permit, because I've been saying that you're not just going to rebuild your home in Malibu of all places on the planet and or the west side of all places on the planet to build that at one place. You ain't just building that shit. There's permits, there's rules, there's regulations, and I don't think that, you see, people that are against these over sort of invasive regulations are not against regulations, they're against over regulation. Meaning, if somebody said, I will, and this is kind of where we're at. Someone go, look, I want to sell weight benches, bench press, bench setup. I want to sell it in California. They would go, the bar that goes up that holds the barbell, what's the maximum capacity that thing will hold? And I'd go 600 pounds. And then they'd go, okay, well, we need it for 6,000 pounds. And then I'd go, why? And they'd go, safety. And I'd go, yeah, but nobody's ever benched more than 600 pounds, so this is it. Most people are going to be throwing around 140 pounds here. Why over? And they go, why not? And I go, well, it's going to cost a lot more to build the bench. And it's going to cost a lot more to ship the bench because it's going to weigh a lot more. And I'm trying to compete with other guys who make benches. So they're paying $200. I'm going to charge $700 for mine because I have to engineer it to hold 6,000 pounds, but no one's ever bench pressed over 700 pounds. I don't know. What's the bench press?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Six.
Got to be 690, maybe 6. I don't know. 6. Guys are becoming freaks. The powerlifting is like to a whole nother science these days. So maybe 600 and 700. I don't know.
I have like
Seems
I've said like
way too high. I know
35.
600 for a squat is a good one.
1,400?
So, there we
What?
No.
The current world record is held by American Jimmy Kolb, established July 29, 2023. He
1,400
successfully
kilograms.
locked out 635 kilograms or 1,401 pounds.
Wow. That
guy's
man, we got to see this man.
This guy's got big arm energy.
I told you. Powerlifting is on some other. Look at this guy. He's one muscle.
These guys are built like bottle jacks.
Exactly, yeah. No way.
By the way, I like that they're spotters. Like I would do anything but run. God, he brings it down. That's so nuts.
That's a Volkswagen. And he got it.
Yeah, I mean, the bar traveled a whole 7 inches.
I know,
You know?
I know.
These guys have fucking arms as short as my dick. And I'm not insulting my dick. It's just, they're built like bottle jacks. That's
The hell's
That's
a
what
bottle jack?
just a fucking butt plug of a bottle
that
jack.
thing. Yeah, where you lift the car.
lift a car. You can lift houses.
Yeah.
You see bottle jacks, they're like 30,000 pounds. Things as big as a fucking 16-ounce Coke can of Coke.
Really?
It'll say lifts 12 tons. I've lifted houses. Like when an old house is like sagging, the floor sagging, shit like that. You get under there with a bottle jack, get under the crawl, and chick, a fucking house. It starts creaking. I've lifted whole outdoor balconies and stuff that were like fucking bottle jack. It'll lift 7 tons, and your hand just feels like it's not even attached to anything. It's like chick. The bottle jack's a modern marvel.
Wow, yeah.
It would fucking throw 1,400 pounds like nothing, and a 9-year-old kid could just go chick. Not a scissor jack, not a floor jack.
Yeah.
Bottle jack. All right, so my point is all right, the world's record is 1,400 pounds.
Yep.
But I don't need to build my bench at 6,000 pounds capacity because it's overkill. And then Jane Fonda would go, "What's wrong with making it safe?" And it's like, what's wrong with it, bitch, is it takes longer, it weighs more, it costs more, it's unnecessary, it uses more materials, and I have to pass that along to whoever's buying this thing. And that's sort of what they do here with building. And anyway, a guy was on the internet, basically said, here's the permits you need.
So experts say it'll take between 20 and 40 years to rebuild Los Angeles. Why is that? Well, it's because of their regulations. So in LA, you need not only a building permit, but a grading permit, a foundation permit, an electrical permit, a plumbing permit, a mechanical permit, a demolition permit, an encroachment permit. The fire department needs to give you a permit. If you have a septic tank, you need a permit for that. You need a water and sewer connection permit. You have to have an energy compliance permit, an environmental permit, zoning permits, of course. If you remove any trees, you're going to need a tree removal permit. If you put solar panels, you need a solar panel permit. You need any kind of specialty permits for swimming pools or retaining walls. And of course, you're going to need your certificate of occupancy.
All right. Well, it's not doable. It's not practical.
It's impossible, it looks like.
Can I tell you fuckers, I had land in La Cañada, California. And I was going to build on it. I ended up selling the land, and there's another house on it. Just take my word for it that it was a steep lot, the steep back hill that went all the way up the hill. And at the bottom, it sort of flattened out, and that's where the house would be built. And so one would have to build a retaining wall behind the house to retain the earth, and then it kept going up the hill to the next property that was above it, steep grade. On the property, my property that I purchased, that I pay taxes on, it was littered with oak trees. La Cañada has oak trees everywhere, and they're nice, but they're everywhere. And they said before you begin building, you must put a chain link fence around all the oak trees because they're endangered and you cannot tear down or cut down your own oak trees. Now, imagine telling a founding father your fucking land that you bought, that you own, that you pay taxes on, there's a tree on your property and you're not allowed to cut it out. You can't cut it down. Which, by the way, can't exist almost anywhere. I mean, it'll exist in, probably parts of Oregon, Seattle, Washington, stuff like, progressive places. Stupid regulations. But no. But not only can you not cut down your oak tree, you must put a chain link fence around it with a circumference of like 6 foot.
Yeah, to defend it from falling into the pool.
I don't know even what the regulation is. So what I would say to these people is those oak trees are up at the top of my property. I can't even get to them. It's too hard to climb. It's too steep. They're on a hill. I'm not building. You need a Sherpa and a chainsaw.
Yeah.
A Sherpa with a chainsaw.
Yeah. It's my punk band.
That's a good punk band.
Yeah.
First off, I have no intention of cutting those trees down at the top of the hill. I like them there. Number two, it has nothing to do with the construction of this house. I'm at the bottom of the hill. And thirdly, I don't think I could get up there wearing cleats.
But you have to go put a fence
They're like,
around
if
it on a 45-degree slope.
If there is an oak tree on your property and you're doing construction, you have to put a chain link fence around it. I'm like, well, it's going to be really expensive to send. By the way, this is times 11 trees. It's going to be really expensive to go up there and hire a company to rent chain link fence. So, I am not going to touch those trees. They're at the top of the property. I'm building at the bottom of the property. I don't know what we need to defend them from. There's nobody up there. And there's no building up there. And I don't know how you would build up there. It's the side of a hill. So they go, you got to get the chain link fence. This is my property. I'm paying you for a permit. So I start walking around the properties of the neighborhood. And at some point, I see some oak trees with the weird yellow or orange plastic ribbony stuff around it, like a roll of plastic with some wooden spikes put into and then whatever. So, okay, that's going to be a fuck of a lot easier, cheaper, lighter, whatever, than a chain link fence around everything. If I could go up there, I'll just have my guys whack in like 4-foot spikes and just pull the stupid thing around it, zip tie it. I mean, not like anyone's going up there. How about the fact that it's my fucking property? How about that? How about that?
California.
And by the way, this place is lousy with oak trees. It's really weird. It's like they go, you can't fuck around with crows because crows are an endangered species. And I'm like, how endangered are they? There's 15 of them on my car right now. Like they're all, the only thing La Cañada has more of than oak trees is crows. Why are they endangered? They're everywhere. Like I get, sperm whales. Yeah. It's not like I walk down the street, hey, it's another sperm, hey, another whale. It's not like every time I go to the ocean, I see a sperm whale. But there's nothing but oak trees, nothing but crows, but you can't fuck with either one of them.
Well, let me get this straight. They're trying to protect the oak tree, but what is this fence going to do? It's going to stop a guy who's working on your house from walking over there with a chainsaw and mowing it down?
It's going to stop. I don't know what it's going to do, but it's going to prevent somebody from maybe mistakenly cutting it down. So anyway, I see some houses with some of this like yellow plastic cutout, 4-foot long ribbon thing, and I'm like, okay, that's going to be a lot cheaper, a lot easier. So then I go to the city and I go like, hey man, how about in lieu of the chain link up at the top of the hill that no one can get to, I drag this plastic mesh stuff up there and we just put that, and they're like, yeah, not going to happen. I'm like, all right, this is what people are talking about. I never ended up building a fucking house there. But the point is they fuck with you bad, early and often. And it did remind me, the great Joel McHale came into my studio, my radio studio, many, many years ago. I mean, we're coming up on 20 years ago. He lived at a house up in the hills. He wanted to build a swimming pool. They would not let him. They made it so well, what it is they never go, you can't do this. They go, we're going to make it so difficult for you to do what you want to do on your own property. By the way, paying us, you're going to pay them. Yeah. You're going to go down and cut a check so they let you do what you want to do on your own property. And it's not like it's a city-funded pool gunite rig. It's your guy. You pay that guy. They won't let you do it.
They want it built to like nuclear cooling rod status.
Well, my two celebrity friends, Joel McHale and Carson Daly. Carson built his pool in the Palisades, Santa Monica, and it needed to be double hulled. So that was a Coastal Commission thing, like an oil tank.
Yeah.
In case some of that salt water, probably did a saltwater pool. In case that dripped through and got into the groundwater. I do, but in case it got into the ground, in front of Carson's double-hulled pool is a never-ending chain of Winnebagos where homeless junkies shit into the commode and then just do the raw footage straight into the fucking ocean. Do you have any thoughts about that, Santa Monica, or is it just all the guys with the checkbooks? You have a checkbook, you play by the rules, you get punished. But this is a old, just in case any of you thought I'm some Johnny-come-lately with topics. Now everyone's talking about permits. Carolla was talking about permits 30 years ago. The first time I got in front of a microphone, I was fucking screaming about this shit because I used to do it for a living in L.A., and then I bought a house. I tried to do it for myself. And every night, after arguing with the planning and zoning and plan check and the permit unit in Van Nuys, I would then show up on Loveline that night and scream about it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk solutions. I
don't care. I'm playing this riff and then we'll talk solutions.
This retaining wall, I feel like we're building a dam. Oh. A hydro. It's like the Hoover Dam.
There'll actually be day laborers entombed.
Yeah. Yes, it will be like the Great Wall of China.
I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll be very quick about it. All of you who claim to be simpatico with the government and who are cool with the administration and cool with the man, come out to Southern California, buy yourself a house in the hills, and try to build something.
Yeah.
And then you will quickly go from Janine Garofalo to Ruby Ridge. It translates into hundreds of thousands of dollars that you throw literally into a hole in a ground because some a-hole engineer wanted to satisfy the city.
How is anything still standing according to their standards now?
Please, all right. Now, Joel McHale, I must stand up and yell at every goddamn engineer and every goddamn city bureaucrat in this city. Yes, if you want to do any building in this goddamn city, especially if it's up in the hills, you must either build the Hoover Dam or Hitler's bunker.
Right.
Why? Because we're an earthquake country. Because it's dangerous, and we hide behind safety. We hide behind the veil of safety. Hey, just playing it safe. Hey, better safe than sorry. Hey, we're an earthquake country. My house was built in 1929. It has no reinforced concrete, no plywood because plywood wasn't invented, no Simpson straps, no HDs, no hold downs, no all thread, no J bolts, no nothing. 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 They had some poor Irish guy, poor foundation, and they set a house on it. That was it. There was no straps and no Tico clips and no 835s and no continuous shear wall and no moments and no nothing. No nailing schedule, no inspector, no nothing.
Nothing.
Now, that house was built in 1929, and you know where it is today? Right the F where it was put. By all the dead people with no hold downs and no rebar and no bunkers and no straps and no nothing. Why? It's an earthquake country! It's an earthquake country! Now, what do you think the house did, you retards? Did it sprout legs and run to Montana every time there was an earthquake and then hustle back and land on its foundation? No! It sat there with no straps, no plywood, no nailing schedule, no hold downs, no all thread, no piers, no pylons, no grade beams, no retaining walls, nothing!
I don't know what we're yelling about!
80 goddamn years through every goddamn earthquake this city could put up, and it has moved not an inch.
Yeah, so how do you explain all the... There's Craftsman houses from 1914 in Pasadena. They're fine. So what is this danger that the earthquake poses to the house that's been through every earthquake?
The danger's not going to get paid off that. Looking at all those, couldn't that be consolidated? Some of it?
If they wanted to speed it up.
But why? Yeah.
Well, okay, why? Well, each permit costs money.
Yeah.
So the more permits, the more money.
Yeah.
But it's bigger than that. It's control.
And everybody
you have
has
to
a job.
come ask them. Yes, it creates a lot of bureaucracy and jobs, and you have to come ask them for permission, and that's called control, and they fucking like it.
Yeah.
You don't believe me? What did LA do during COVID? They fucking snapped into action. Like, hey, off the beach, bro. Hey, Outdoor dining, gone. Hey, school shut down. Those are people who like control. They're control junkies.
This is an ego thing.
But it's all under the veil of safety. Remember COVID? COVID's, we're going to fucking jack everyone's shit up and rule everything and fuck everyone up. But for safety. There's
a culture of middle managers that everybody wants to be able to boss somebody around.
And when they hide under the veil of safety, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. And so I built a garage, a super garage, in the back of my house from 1929. And again, I'll give you the reason I say plywood wasn't invented. The reason that's a big deal is because the biggest thing they do with earthquake is called shear wall. Shear wall is you frame a house. Picture a framed wall.
Yep.
2x4 framed wall.
Yeah.
Picturing it?
I'm picturing.
Okay. Now picture that thing just alone, just a naked framed wall.
Okay.
It would have a lot of downward strength. Like if you just try to get on top of it and push it down, it would have good strength.
Yeah.
But if you racked it sideways, it would rack.
Yeah.
You could pull it.
Yeah, exactly.
Side to side, right? So what they do is you take 1/2-inch plywood, struck one, good one side, and you put it on it and you nail the shit out of it.
Okay.
And by the way, you don't just choose your own nails. It's 10-penny ring shank nails, non-sinker, non-vinyl coated sinkers. You couldn't use 8-penny sinkers. You knew that.
Obviously.
And you not only have the plywood on the outside with the stamp facing outside so they can see it's the right plywood.
Okay.
Struck one, they would call it. There's a schedule for nailing. The schedule for nailing used to be every foot in the field, as they say, but on the seams, 6 inches. Pop, 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 pop.
All right.
And you got to use it right now. Okay. So now you nail the shit out of it with this plywood on the outside. Now picture racking that thing, right? So that's what they're worried about. Now, that whole problem before plywood, they just took a piece of 1x3 and they just put it laterally on it, and it was called a let-in. Anyone who's been in an old garage, I don't know, Dawson, your garage may be old enough. You stand in that old garage and you see that weird lateral piece going from the top left down to the bottom, and it's in the stud. They let it in. Does the same thing. Stops it from racking. But anyway, these houses, there were also earthquake is big into straps and clips, clips, hangers, joist hangers, Simpson straps, Tico clips.
What are
everything.
these? You keep saying that. What is it? It's made.
These
out
are
of
like imagine you took. Imagine you took a 2x6, right? You just butted it against another 2x6, and you just what they call toe-nailed it in, like sideways nailed it in, or even nailed it through.
Okay.
That it would stay, but imagine if I took a hanger, like a saddle, like a metal saddle, and put it there and nailed the shit out of it into the thing and into the two. It's like you couldn't tear that thing apart.
Oh, okay.
Hurricane clips, where you're from.
Okay.
See, where you're from, Florida, they would just take the ceiling roof rafter, go right over the top of the framed wall, and they just toenail it in.
Okay.
And then the tornado shows up, or the weather shows up, and the whole fucking roof just lifts off.
Yeah.
Now they have hurricane straps where they strap it. Everything's strapped now.
I see.
1929, they didn't have anything.
Yeah.
By the way, they didn't bolt the house to the foundation.
What? Oh, I thought that was a thing too. No, they
Didn't exist.
Didn't need.
Didn't do it. I don't think they had rebar in the foundation.
No.
So now when you pour the foundation, every 2 feet or whatever, you put in a J-bolt. It's a big, thick bolt that goes down, makes a J shape. You sink it into the wet concrete. And then when you strip all the forms, you start framing your house, you bolt it.
Yeah, it has bolted in there.
But there's nothing there. But the point is I'm building a super garage behind the house from 1929 that has nothing.
Yes.
Okay. So what do I got to do? Well, I got to drill 15 caissons, 15 deep caissons
This is
into the
required.
ground. Yeah, and you got to go, 4 feet into bedrock, wherever it is. Those things are like 28 feet deep, right? Then you got to build cages, rebar cages, and drop the cage into the caisson, into the hole.
Wow.
Into the hole. Then the cage comes up and ties into what is a grade beam, which is another cage and another form, and it becomes this pattern of these long caissons going into the ground, tied in the top. And the point is, you have to build the fuck out of it. And when I had steel, I was doing a steel superstructure. So this is the city. You do steel, they'll sign off on steel. But when you do steel, they bolt it and they weld it.
Yep.
They bolt it and they weld it. The city requires that you hire at your own expense a deputy inspector. This deputy inspector thing is not anyone from their office. It's just another guy you got to pay because they're not coming out and watching this guy weld. You hire a deputy inspector. The deputy inspector is supposed to visually sit there for 8 hours and watch the guy weld to make sure he's doing a good job welding. All right. Now, what happens after the guy's done welding and the deputy inspector signs off on the welds and gives you a certificate of completion that you can take to the city? By the way, you got to pay that guy $500 for the certificate. Then they require a sonogram.
Yep.
Which
I've
is
heard
a
of
guy's
this,
got to come by with the same shit they used to look at the babies, strap it on, and inspect every weld electronically to make sure that it's all a good weld. So here's the question. What the fuck do I need the deputy inspector for if the sonogram guy is coming? And by the way, everyone is on the grift and figured out the move.
Yeah.
The deputy inspector guy, he doesn't give two shits. He's not going to stay there for 8 hours and watch some Mexican weld. He comes up in his truck. He eats a breakfast burrito. He watches it for a minute. I come out to his truck. He hands me a certificate and he fucking leaves.
Wow.
But I got to pay for it. And then I also have to pay for the sonogram. Now, why would you need both? And city, if you require this, then you fucking pay for the sonogram. I'm already paying you for all the permits, and you pay for the deputy inspector. Send one of your deputy inspectors out to inspect.
It looks like to me that it's so entrenched in the entire culture of the building industry here in California.
Yes.
That it's inextricable.
It's a bureaucracy that just keeps growing.
Yeah.
It grows.
Everyone's
it
in on the
grows,
grip.
and it's made by bitches like Jane Fonda who fucking sit there and go, what's wrong with the rules? I think we have more rules. I just hate, she reminds me of my mom. I mean, not in the looks department, but every other aspect. Imagine if you go, who's your mom? Picture an unattractive Jane Fonda. I'd be like, oh, God, that is fucking, whoo, that is what you call lose-lose, brother. Yeah, like a husky Jane Fonda. Oh, well, now it's all bad, right? Yeah. So that's their plan. More. And now people are saying, well, you're going to have to reel it in.
Well, I reported
And I don't know if they're gonna.
I reported the other day that Newsom signed executive orders saying that he would streamline the process. I
He
believe
is,
the word.
but wait till the Coastal Commission gets involved and the LA City Council, and then there's going to be a legal proceeding, and it's going to be tied up because they're going to object. They're all going to object because they fucking hate their dads, and you are their dad.
Back to the ringer.
Back to the ringer. Also, what I was trying to explain, a metaphor I haven't used in a long time, but in terms of regulations, the beach equals freedom. That's where we landed with the Pinto and the Santa Maria and the Mayflower. It all landed.
Plymouth Rock.
We landed. It's freedom. The beach is freedom. That's why, like, every commercial, remember, like, 70s car commercials? There always be people run along the beach, and the car would be going through the surf and zigzagging, and they'd be fucking playing with the dog, and at night be a bonfire and all that kind of shit. Beach, fun, free. The United States is beach free. California is supposed to be the beach. You fucking do what you want to do. Not Gavin Newsom arresting a guy on a paddleboard during COVID. That's not freedom. That's the opposite of freedom. Beach is freedom. Here's my challenge. In the mid-'60s, Venice Beach, Carroll Shelby Mustang, Shelby Cobra.
Yep.
His headquarters was in Venice Beach in the 60s, the early 60s. He went there for freedom, man.
Sick.
Venice Beach in the 60s, the sign on the beach that said what you can't do on the beach, I don't know. I don't think there was a sign. You went to the beach to drink a beer, to smoke a cigarette, have sex, to start a fire. Every 70s movies, kids, fire on the beach, passing around a bottle, sucking off at the dogs barking over there.
No.
What's going on the beach today? Well, at some point, they put a sign up, and it just had one thing. It said no bonfires. And that was it. And then the politicians did what the politicians do. They went, what else can we put on that sign? And someone should have fucking stopped them and said, bitch, it's not your sign. You're not here to fucking keep adding shit. No. But what about dogs? I don't think dogs should be on the beach. And someone, I don't know. Okay, add it to the sign. No bonfires, no dogs. How about alcohol? We don't want drunk people going in the ocean, do we? Okay, all right, put alcohol on there. How about cigarettes? What if someone lit a cigarette and the wind just blew the secondhand smoke over to your towel? You wouldn't want people, okay, put it on the sign. The fucking beach sign is 26 items long now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
There was no beach sign, and then there was one sign that said no bonfires or like no dune buggies or something, right? And now it's a cavalcade of what you can't do on the beach. Why? I thought we were about freedom. Well, we were until you bitches got involved and you made it about rules. And that's where we're at. And every year, they add another list of something you can't do on the beach onto the beach sign.
You're breaking open my brain right now, Carolla.
Good. And my thing is we need to start pulling shit off the sign. And their thing is like, oh no, we add stuff to the sign.
Roll it back.
And what Trump is saying is everything you add to the sign, you got to pull 2 off if you want to add 1. And they're like, well, we're not going to do that because all we do is signs, because all we do is make rules because we want power over you.
Man.
And that's why we're in this business. Now, the fact that California, the let your freak flag fly place, has the most rules for the beach is just a metaphor for your society and your freedom. The more fucking signs, the bigger the sign is at the beach, the less freedom you have living in that state or that city. And California has the most. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, don't you think that because it is the affluent who have lost their houses recently, that more regulations will change and shift because there's enough money to move the needle?
Yeah. No, when shit starts happening to white people, that's when they're like, all right, these are my constituency, and I'm not getting fucking reelected if I piss off all these people in Malibu.
These are the people with the lobby money and the things to get things done in Sacramento.
Yeah, that's when they care. Yeah, that's
all right. So maybe you're going to get your wish then. Regulations will be rolled back. There won't be so much permits.
But Gavin Newsom's like, look, we're not gonna do. Bill Maher sounds more and more like me every week, but
you
it's
guys
like
sound similar on his.
He sounds like me. So it's what it is.
Your direction.
Yes, this is all shit I talk about. Then he talks about it. Then people go, hey, you hear what Bill Maher's talking about?
I know. Hey, I swear he watches the show because his writers
he doesn't.
Do.
His writers do.
His writers do.
It's all shit that I say or have been saying for a million years, and it's also like we're gonna get rid of all this red tape. We got to get. And I'm like, who put the red tape there? Mm-hmm. Who made all the red tape? Why is there so much red tape? Why? All right, forget there was a fire. Let's just say John Q. Public wanted to rebuild his place in Malibu.
Yeah.
You would fuck him 10 ways to Sunday. But now that there's been a fire, okay, we can relax some of these regulations. Fuck you. All right, I got so much on this that's happened to me that I don't want to bore everyone. It's a pain. All right. You got news?
I got some news.
All right, well, hold on.
We can jump right into it.
No. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to do some news. Homes.com knows that when it comes to home shopping, it's never just about the house or condo. It's about the home. And what makes a home is more than just a house or property. It's the location. It's the neighborhood. If you have kids, it's also schools, nearby parks, transportation options, all the above. That's why Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth information they need to find the right home. And when I say in-depth, I'm talking about deep. That's right. Each listing features comprehensive information about the neighborhood, complete with a video guide. They also have details about local schools with test scores, state rankings, and student-to-teacher ratio. They even have an agent directory with the sales history of each agent. So when it comes to finding a home, not just a house, this is everything you need to know, all in one place. Homes.com. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
All right. Well, no shit. I just heard your podcast thingy for the first time, calling from the Netherlands. Name is Remco van Heugden. Yeah, try to pronounce that. But great show, Mr. Carolla. I saw less equity, more water, fixing LA's fire response. And yeah, right up my alley. The humor that you use to address political issues. But yeah, keep on rocking, and I'll keep on checking in.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Thanks,
Appreciate
dude.
that.
Dankeschön. Or whatever they say out there in the Netherlands.
Yeah. Something else, but
Something, right?
Yeah. What do you got in the news?
In the
department?
news, let's just jump right into it. Elon Musk rips those who accused him of giving the Nazi salute and says they need better dirty tricks. I don't know. The whole room is split. I think it was a wild out my heart goes on Celine Dion gesture, or he's trolling the shit out of us.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
I hate to analyze.
Little Hitlerian. Listen, I think he's trolling.
Yes,
I do.
so do
He's
I.
having fun fucking with people.
Yeah.
These fucking guys are so funny. It's kind of like, when you get stoned and you try to put a hat on your dog or something. The dog starts to moving his head weird, and you just start laughing. I think that's kind of what it's come to now. I think he's now trolling.
He went full
These
tism.
people-
Like
these
you went.
people.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think more. It's like, what do you get for the guy who's got everything? Attention.
Yeah, attention and
Like,
trolling.
He's
but also,
getting off on it.
I don't know what anyone. I was telling Joe earlier today about. There's a crazy story that I remember from 4.5 years ago where a guy worked for like San Diego Power Company, and he was hanging his hand out of the side of his utility truck, and he had it in an OK sign, and somebody took a picture of it, like this is a white supremacy thing. First off, when did everything become a sign for white supremacy? Like OK, when I was a kid, just meant OK, and people are like, yeah, well, but if you put your hand down, it's like, then that means you're jacking them off? Like, when did everything, and also this connection thing where they go, Trump's doing his address on July, that's 7/19, 2025. Now, if you take 7 and you go to the 7th page of Mein Kampf, Hitler's book, you'll see some writings there about a demon who's coming. And then you take the 19 and you add it to the 25, right? But you back out 45 because he was the first president. He was 45. Now he's 47. So you back out 45, but you add, and then you go to page 114 of Mein Kampf, and you go down in the middle. And I'm like, okay, I think you're making shit up. I don't know what this is. Everyone waves or everyone does something. The OK sign. This guy got fired from his job at the power company for hanging his fucking hand out the window. There's a picture of it. And his guy, first off, he's Mexican, which I always love. I love it when it doesn't slow the roll when you go, well, this guy's Mexican. You think he's in the Klan? It's like, I don't care. We're moving ahead. And us as Dumbos just went through some bizarre era in time where like someone would call the power company and go, yeah, I got one of your employees there. He may be smoking a cigarette and he may be flicking a booger, but he also may be part of the Hitler scene. And then you just call the supervisor and they go, what's his name? I don't know, but we got his truck number. Ramirez. All right, we'll fire him. What's next? There's another guy over here who doesn't want to take an experimental vaccine for something that's not dangerous to him. All right, well, let's fire them too. Now what? Well, now you're all getting sued, you fucking retards. But we just went through this. Now that's all they do. But I hope Elon is trolling them now.
I think so. I mean, there's no way.
Then I didn't see
He's a
this.
spastic guy, but you saw him on SNL. He can act like a normal dude when he wants to.
I did see him tweet a bunch of pictures of all the Hillary Clintons and the Elizabeth Warrens and stuff all holding the hand out to Hitler's side.
Yeah,
too,
but if you watch
funny.
back the tape, has that clear like right hand, like he's throwing it out there. You know.
No, this is part of the troll. You
that's what I mean.
You do that, you get the reaction, then you find a bunch of pictures of Hillary Clinton doing the salute, and you make a montage of that, and you put it up, and now it's part of the troll. But it's weird. It's like kind of like. Again, it's sort of like fucking with your cat with the hat or your dog with the hat. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And when I see like the hard left people like worrying about having to move out because Trump and Hitler and stuff like that, I think they buy into it, I guess.
Think so?
I don't know what they think. I don't know. I find it amusing just because they're such fucking blowhards that I love just seeing them. I love seeing them wring their hands together. But it's a weird posture to have, I guess, or maybe it's just their job. I don't know how much of it is. I mean, Trump was, called Hitlerian and a dictator for, 4 months, and then he won, and everyone's like, hey, all right, hey, here you go. Here's the keys to the White House. Thank you. Good to see I left you a note. Little forget-me-not. Little love note. Well, Hitler. Dear Hitler, hope you enjoy the Oval Office. Like, so I don't know what they mean. Do they think this? I don't. I mean, Joe Biden said that Trump was a threat to democracy, right? Over and over and over again. So Joe Biden shouldn't have left behind a note to Adolf Hitler 2.0. He should have left behind a bomb, right? To protect democracy. Like, everyone gets checked and screened, but I don't think Joe Biden gets patted down before he walks into the White House. Joe Biden need to go full Valkyrie.
Yeah.
He needed to take like George Washington's head and fill it with C4 and put it on a fucking timer.
Yeah. The Lincoln bedroom all
He could have got that in there. And the note would have just said, oh God, let's see. I'm trying to, it would have said, Anara or something. No, wait, that was Con Air. Whatever, would have been a Schwarzeneggian.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, out go the lights. And Trump would have looked at it and then fired. You know what I mean?
Anti-personnel mine.
Yeah.
Underneath the Oval Office desk. Like that kind of strategy.
Well,
Home Alone type paint cans falling down on him.
If in fact he is a threat to our civilization, our way of life, and to democracy, then you don't leave him a thoughtful note that you give a little spritz of cologne on before you put it into the desk. You leave him a bomb.
You make him hang out with Morning Joe.
Oh, then he kills himself?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, what else you got?
Well, there's a Trump Teachers Union webinar encourages teachers to oppose Trump and make students in the U.S. illegally feel less afraid. I guess it was like a Zoom meeting sort of deal where they just talked bad and how to prohibit immigration agents from venturing onto school grounds.
Oh, that's the beauty of California, because we're going to put 10 minutes into rebuilding this place, and the rest of the time we're going to be putting into trying to Trump-proof it. Like, we're going to Trump-proof California. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I'll take a little Trump in here now.
You got to hire your Trump inspector.
Yeah, deputy Trump inspector.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want people deported. I always like they go, Tom Homan's the greatest. You know that guy?
No, Tom Homan?
He's the new border czar. And he's the greatest because he gets all these fucking yentas in the Senate and in Congress, you know, and they're always doing these weird gotcha things, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's a pit bull, you know, and they're like, and you're gonna take these parents and you're gonna deport these parents and you're gonna separate them from their children. And he goes, they don't have to be separated. Well, how are they gonna, you're taking the parents away. How are they not separated? He goes, they can go with them. And then the fucking women go, what? It's Doss, you know we're going to have 10,000 China moments, like where the chick's in there, she's in the fucking room and she's going, you keep calling it the China virus, and you say, do you realize what that does? Is it saying it comes from China and the discrimination? Why do you keep saying China? Why do you call it the China virus? And he goes, because it's from China. Fuck off, bitch. We're going to have thousands of those now. Tom Homan's that's going to be a highlight reel of him telling. There's a Tom Homan, is it Holman or Homan?
Homan, I believe.
Homan. There's an AOC, there's AOC questioning Homan somewhere in a like tweet or something. It's great. It's going to be so fucking fun trolling all these fucking nutty.
That's what we're in for.
That's what we're in for.
Yeah.
And I'm all in because I'm fucking tired of these idiots running this country. So, yeah, they're going to take the illegals. They're going to throw them out.
Yes.
But they always go, they'll go to him. They'll go, you want them to throw out people even if they didn't commit a crime? And he goes, they committed a crime. They came to this country illegally. And they go, they don't know what to fucking do with themselves. This is going to be funny.
Yeah, Trump actually issued
we're going to Trump-proof California.
Yeah, of immigration-related executive orders on the first day of his new term. It looked like his orders seek to do the following. End birthright citizenship for future children born to mothers who are in the United States unlawfully or temporarily.
Remain in Mexico is the one that would have. Biden undid it immediately, and that's what caused it all. The thing is, you want to come here? Good. Stay in Mexico. We'll vet you. That stopped it. But he undid that.
Yeah, he's directing federal agencies to identify countries that do not provide sufficient information on their nationals to bar those nationals from entry to the U.S.
Yeah, it's just we're going to bring back rules, and that'll be nice for those
he's
who
gonna
enjoy
send that
rules.
military to the border.
He's going to designate the cartels as terrorist groups.
Yeah, that is the most interesting thing to me.
It's been talked about.
Yeah, that opens up a lot of options militarily to fight the cartels. It's going to be an interesting time on the border there.
Dawson, does that AOC Homan thing exist? Oh, you have it. Put it on. Tell Byron. Byron, can you hear me? Put it on the screen when you got it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I was downloading it first.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
you got it. Well,
he's restricting funds from sanctuary cities, and will take legal action against them, designating the cartels as migrant gangs, MS-13 and Tren de Arruga as foreign terrorist organizations.
All right, so we just got rid of a fucking weak, willowy, bald-headed pussy in Mayorkas who would do nothing about what's going on at the fucking border. As a matter of fact, if you think they didn't give a fuck about the border, why during that whole fake Haitian horse whipping thing, why did they all rush to a microphone and attack the Border Patrol and say shades of Jim Crow and shades of slavery if they didn't hate the Border Patrol? Why didn't they go, we looked at it closely, we spoke to the photographer, it isn't that. Why did they all jump on it as an act of racism?
On what part? I don't know.
There were Haitian guys trying to swim the Rio Grande or whatever it is. Border Patrol was on horseback.
Yeah.
And they had their reins,
yes.
and there were and Biden knew they didn't have a whip, and this wasn't shades of slavery or Jim Crow. And so did Kamala Harris, and so did every official. But it was an interesting tableau. It was a white guy on a horse with reins and a black skinny guy on the run. And it was very, the
optics were bad. It looked like it was in a Tarantino movie.
It was very Django Unchained, right? Yes. So Biden, who knew the story and all these people who have access to all this information knew what the real story was, but immediately ran to a microphone and started talking about racism. Why? What are they doing? Oh, you're certainly, what are you trying to do? Get half the people who work for the Border Patrol to quit? Like, why are you weaving racism into this scene? What is your motivation?
Because the backlash.
You're trying to just anger black people. All Biden wanted to do was agitate black people. So that's why he said it. Now, he's a president of the United States, and Kamala's the vice president. So they would have access. They would be able to go, I want to talk to the agent. I want to know if he had a whip. I want to have a couple pros take a good look at these pictures and see what was going on. I want to talk to anyone who was on the ground there. I want to speak to the photographer and see what he saw. And I want this information before I grab a microphone and start yelling about shades of Jim Crow. But they did not. They did not. They went right to it. Why?
Because reactionary moves the needle. You get engagement.
We agitating black people and making them think we live in a racist nation is good for us.
No.
They just lost on it, but that's good. All right, here's Tom Homan. This is great. There are going to be 1,000 China moments.
And so the recommendation of the many that you recommended AOC. Family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his
Mr. Homan,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're in the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Please China. China. See, he's like, fuck you, bitch.
Time, yeah.
You're not talking to fucking pussy Mayorkas anymore. You're talking to a guy who's fucking into laws. Yeah. He's going to enforce them, and he knows what the codes are, so fuck off.
So he's a new guy.
Now the border's going to be shut. And by the way, once the word gets out that that's the dude instead of fucking Mayorkas, it's shut.
Like
people stop. Stop showing up.
You're right.
They're not even
standing at the. I can't wait to see the cartoon of him standing at the wall.
They're not even going to try, but they're going to have lots of China moments. That's all. That's all. It's going to be good. All right, what else you got?
Well, here's a weird one that a couple with a fake fire truck busted for impersonating firefighters. I didn't ask the guys if they had an image of these people in their fake fire truck.
I saw a picture.
Oh, you did?
I was impressed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Because I heard the story, like these guys had a fake fire truck. I was like, okay. They had a Ford F-150 that was red, and they put a couple of sticker magnet sign things that said L.A. Fire Department on the side, but that's not a fake fire truck.
That's fire inspector.
Oh, no, they had a fire truck.
Really?
They got a fire truck. In the picture I saw, they
didn't see it. Yeah,
they had a fire truck.
That's why they buried the lead here, because I did it. They admitted to the deputies they had entered the evacuation zone. So I don't know what they were doing exactly. They got busted for it. I know. I would think looting, but it didn't say that they were caught with anything.
Is looting... Okay, let me say this. When... It's a fucking fire truck. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. It's a legit fire truck.
All right. You guys tell me if you concur with this. Looting... When I was a kid... People would get their TVs and their stereos ripped off, right?
Yeah.
I have 3 75-inch TVs. They're sitting in the entry hall, right?
Yeah.
I can't give them away. I think I got Dawson with one. I go out there and find my guy, Roberto. Roberto, poor Mexican. I know he's poor. I pay him. He's poor. It's a poor Mexican man. I go out there. He's working on the side. I go, Roberto, you want a free 75-inch flat panel TV? He goes, well, let me see. comes walking in and he goes, no, I'm good. I go, Jesus Christ. I would have fucking blown a dude with AIDS for a 75-inch flat panel TV at any point in my life, except for really like the last 18 months. 2 years. I was yelling at everybody when I was watching TV, watching football over the weekend, as I do. I have a beer and I yell at everyone. Because they're kind of forced to listen because of my TV. And my shop, you know. I set up Kimmel at his house once as a gift for him and all he's done for me many years ago. I'm talking 20 plus years ago. 2 42-inch Gateway TVs. Gateway, the computer, made a sort of first-gen, semi-inexpensive flat panel 42. I bought him 2. They were $3,000 each. Now, I just bought a 100-incher, $1,900. But the point is I got 75 inchers. I can't fucking give them away. No one gives a shit anymore. So you're certainly not looting stereo equipment.
Yeah.
You're not stealing anyone's TV because these things are big as shit, hard to loot, and not have no street value. And evidently no value because I beg people to take these TV sets. I got Dawson up for one. Byron's up for another. Right.
What? So now you only have one left?
One left.
Oh, me and Joe are going to fight to the death for
fight over it. All right. It's also weird because spiritually, a 75-inch TV is worth more than all the gold in the world and all the love a child could provide.
Something magic about a TV.
It is. Yeah. If somebody said to me, what would you rather have? But like, there's nothing else you can do. But all the gold in the world, I'd kind of go, yeah, but I don't know. What do I do with it? Make fillings? You know, the love of your children. I mean, I like them. They're okay. Or a 75-inch TV that you could just watch in perpetuity. I'm taking the TV. If you said it could be trapped on an island with your favorite person or 75-inch TV, I'm like, well, eventually that person would try to eat me.
Yeah,
so I'm going with the TV. It's so symbolically great to me. You cannot loot TVs. People used to steal like phonographs and shit, stereo tuners and stuff, speakers. People would steal speakers. Can't do that. So is it all? It's all just jewelry. It's all jewelry and cash, right? There's no more items.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh man, that's a brass bed. You can't do big. You can't steal a fucking Sub-Zero refrigerator. This refrigerator's worth $4,000, but you can't. It's all just cash. It's cash and jewelry. That's it.
Yeah.
And these guys figure these houses have jewelry and have cash, and people fled.
Yeah.
Right? Is that where we're at?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what came out of those houses. Yeah, definitely not a flat screen.
You know what's weird, the time we're living in? Oh, yeah. Oh, like some Rolex watches.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for if I'm a looter.
We're living in a time, if someone would have said to me, like in the 70s, in the 80s, people steal car stereos all the time, right? If somebody said to me, in the future, they're not going to steal electronics, TV sets, car stereos, none of that. Stereos, none of it. But there'll be more dog stealing than TV stealing. I'd go, get the fuck out of here. Who the fuck wants a dog? You know what I mean? Yeah. The idea that people are being held up for their dog. The dog has more value than the TV set at this point. There's no more snatching TV sets. It's dogs. Or electronics, or car stereos.
People are starting to pay for experiences.
Is that what it is, the snatching?
Exactly, yeah.
Of Lady Gaga's dog?
Shot up too. Hey, and they let that guy out of jail. Like
they
on
did?
accident.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, paperwork snafu. Let Lady Gaga's dog walker shooter
and also,
out of jail.
Lady Gaga did that move. She's like, $500,000 to find my dog, no questions asked.
And then somebody got
the dog. She's like, I got a couple of questions. And they're like, what happened to the 500? Well, some questions asked. That's what it is.
I think the statute of limitations is up on it, so I want you to know I've stolen a dog.
Nice.
For fun or profit or what?
I felt my neighbor was mistreating his dog. He left it home for 10 days while he went to Spain.
Really?
And I liberated the dog.
Was he from Spain?
No.
American guy.
Asian bodybuilder.
Oh, Asians. Yeah. There are a lot of cultures that don't see dogs like Whitey sees the dog, you know? Like
he was a guy who needed a personality. He got a dog. He tried improv. He did this. He body built. He was like one of those guys who just like needed to find something. And he got a dog and he mistreated it. And I liberated that dog and rehomed him without telling anybody.
Wow. I kind of like that. But it is funny. Like, again, certain cultures, like the Middle Eastern cultures, like he lays down with dogs. And I'm like, yeah, I love it when Phil sleeps on my bed with me. Yeah. You know, like I like sleeping with my dog. Yeah. If you get with certain cultures, even like my nanny was like Guatemalan, you know, and like Phil, 110-pound lab, would jump onto the bed and like lay down in the middle of the bed while you're watching TV. And she'd just like walk in and go, ugh. The fuck, that dog's outside all day. Now he's fucking sleeping on top of your son. And I'm like, yeah, he is. And then she'd be like, yeah, with disdain. Not allowed. Where she's from, that fucking dog doesn't go anywhere near that bed. And by the way that dog is taught not to go in the bed, it's not with jerky treats. It's a fucking... It's a front ball kick to the ribs. It's a fucking kick to the ribs. And that's the fact. You can teach them with the jerky treats. That takes a while. Yeah. Shot to the ribs. That's one and done. And that's how those cultures roll.
Yeah, yeah.
So they got like different ways of treating their dogs.
If you're from a culture with a lot of street dogs, you look at them very different. We know inside dogs. They know street dogs. Yeah. So street dog is a different vibe, and it gets stuck in your head. You like become racist against dogs.
Phil, during the summer, would go out the back door and immediately dive in the pool, right? And then Phil, 110-pound of wet Phil, would like come right back to the back door and be like, hey, boss, I need back in the house now. And I'd go, and then Olga would yell, don't let him in the house. Don't let him in the house. But look at him. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. He can't go in the pool and then come in the house. Okay. Dry off, Phil. Just dry off out here. It's hot outside. You dry off. I'm going in the den. I'd go sit down in the den. I hear, ooh. I'd go, oh, he's barking now. He's got to come in. Olga be yelling, don't let him in. He's wet. I'll go, okay, Phil, you can come in. Let Phil and Phil come trucking in right down onto the sofa. Just Olga come in. What the fuck? You can't let him in the house. He wanted to come in. Look at his eyes. He barked. He did that woof bark. Like it wasn't barking at something. He was telling me, come let me in. I couldn't do it. Phil got lucky because I got fucked out of a dog as a kid. There's no dogs. I wanted a dog. I wanted a big dog. That's all I wanted. And then at some point I got Phil and I'm like, okay, no rules for you. We're best friends. You do whatever you want.
Gave you a personality.
Gave me a personality. Yeah. I started bodybuilding. I took an improv class. I did. Yeah. But the dog. That's what gave me my meaning. All right. Save the rest of the news for someone who cares. Covina tonight. Oh, 7:30, doing a live podcast. Oh, you're going to be there, right?
Let's get it on.
We're going to get it on up there. Paul Rodriguez, very funny Stamp's going to join me as well. Boca Raton coming up January 30th. Naples, got shows coming up in Naples, Torrance, Austin. Just go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. Until next time, Adam Carolla, Mayhem Miller saying, Mahala.